Hello guys, today I'm going to be showing you how to build a investment news aggregator, which will take news from various sources. It'll aggregate them into a single interface. Alright, so the way this automation works is that you go ahead and select your models right here, connect your things through Perplexity connection. You're going to have to purchase API keys, but they're not that expensive, they're like $4. This is our prompt here. You can use AI to kind of generate these prompts for you, or at least revise them and sort of make them better. But that's basically what the prompt is right here. So here's the refined version. That's what I mean. Like, I use AI for this, so you can tell right there. But the basics, basically what it says is that you are an engaging and informative researcher. Now, when you go ahead and you go ahead and instruct your AI, you want to start off by giving it a role. And so, for example, here we got you are an engaging and informative researcher. Now, you could always change this to something else, but for the purposes of this news aggregator, this works just fine. So basically, we have our word limit right here. For each of the following topics, provide a concise summary of 50 to 70 words. Right there. That's because it'll get too long. Also, make sure if it is a bit of a long paper, like long Google Docs, you want to increase your tokens right here. We have the temperature set to 1.7. So temperature is how creative your AI can be, or how random your AI can be. I have it set pretty high here because I kind of want this to be like, kind of like the news. Like, in other words, I want it to be engaging. In order to do that, you kind of have to, it has to be pretty random, basically, for temperature. And here we go. It says using recent and relevant information. So right here, we had to clarify this. Update us on what's been happening for the last couple of days. This isn't something the AI mechanism just added, but basically what it was doing before is that it would kind of show me information for like the past couple months, which makes sense because it kind of gives you like an overview of what's been going on. But when it comes to stocks and whatnot, you kind of want to take what's been going on for the past couple days. We got these are basically just things that investors would care about. You have your Nasdaq, S&P 500. You can pause this and just kind of read it if you want, but I would go ahead and add this to your automation. You could also add like a couple different things if you really wanted to, or whatever you think is important when it comes to like investments, whatever you kind of care about. You can go ahead and add it in there too. Here we got some examples of what we wanted to say. This doesn't have to be exactly like this. You could say something a little different. So the reason why you want to add examples to your instructions, it kind of gives the AI an idea of what you want. This right here was an attempt at removing these right here. Try to use like these little asterisks and these little like hashtags. Or I should say these little stars and these little hashtags. But I couldn't get it to work, so I kind of just left it on there. And for most people, I mean, this might not even be a problem. It's just kind of how you prefer it to look. But that didn't really work, so this isn't really important. We have the role as user. I would always pick user. Like I said, max tokens 1,500. You can make these lower or higher. This is just to show you guys. Basically, you have your router here. It takes you to the first route right here. Down to Airtables, Perplexity AI, and as you can see here, information got updated. You have to kind of expand this record right here where it says sources, and you kind of have to copy and paste these individually because, as you can see right here, you go onto Airtable and you build it, and I'll get into this in here in a second. It only really lets you do one citation. So you can't really separate all of these citations that Perplexity has, which is 5 right here. Alright, so now we're gonna get into like go into this thing. Okay, so constant. I'm just gonna kind of right over here. I'm just gonna copy and paste this because it took me a while to kind of find what I needed to add. Something like that. There we got our constant role. So user, we already set up all this, so it should be okay. Now going on to the next module. We're gonna go to flow control, router. So first one, it's the easy one. It's for if you want to upload it to any of your to, for example, LinkedIn. Doesn't really matter, but I'm doing LinkedIn for this example. And you can go ahead and I'm gonna go ahead and click chat. Max tokens right here. We're just gonna go ahead and do 500 1 point. And then we're gonna go ahead and add our message. So we are gonna use the information found here. And then we're gonna go ahead and see what else we could add to this. We're just gonna leave it like that for now. We can edit it here in a bit easier. Max tokens, all that. We're just gonna run this for now. Alright. Looks like we got this little magnifying glass here. Choices. Little number 1. Message. Oh shit. The S&P 500 surged to a record high last week, rising 4.66%, but corrected 1.3% on November 13th. We got a little hashtags right here and some emojis, just so it's fun, you know. And so this works for me. This might not work for you. What I also did for LinkedIn, this is something that you're gonna just have to add to your LinkedIn module. I feel like just in general, you should always state whether something's generated by AI, just so you have the authenticity. Or you're going to create a text post. Content. Well, yeah. This is just gonna kind of copy and paste. Oh shit, but you don't want to add this. This is like the first one we saw. You want to add your second one, which is gonna have like the hashtags and the emojis. So you could always add something like this. Is an example. You're gonna want to clean this up, something like that. Just because, like I said, it's always nice to have that transparency. And I'm probably gonna add this here in front, and then it'll display this information right here. Choices 1, message right here. This is what it'll display right after it shows you this. But this is kind of just what I added. You're gonna want to clean this up, make it look nicer. That was just kind of a quick example. You got media type. Sure, you don't really have to worry about this either. Just kind of just a quick post. And public, you got all your other stuff right here. Definitely just do what you need to do for that. Next up, I believe, was Airtables. So we're gonna go ahead and do update a record. And we're gonna have to create a new Airtables for this too. So this is Airtables. Or you can just kind of like look it up. It's pretty cool. It's pretty much like Google Sheets, but it's a lot more complex. You can do a lot more with it. I mean, you can do automations here. So we're gonna go ahead and call this. All right, we're gonna call this. Let's do red. All right, we don't really gotta worry about this stuff here. So I'm gonna start here with the name. We're gonna edit field, and we're just gonna put summary of what you want. Single line text. I'm gonna delete a couple of these too. Alright, we're just gonna do it. We're gonna do citations. And we're just gonna do that. And then we're gonna go ahead and do last updated or last edited. Let's see. So we're going to change this here to last modified time. So that's pretty much it. We're going to delete this field right here. But you can kind of do whatever you want here. You can add more things. You can take a couple things out. It's up to you, honestly. This is if you already created a it's called an automation for Airtables, but if you haven't already, you're gonna go ahead here and click Add Connection Type and Airtable. Alright, so here you're gonna go ahead and add a base. You're gonna go ahead and click the base that you want. In our case, it'll be the stock informant. Alright, and then now you can go ahead and add your base. So it'll show up right here. Alright, and then table. Here's table 1, but you could, let me go back here. It's table 1, but you could always rename this to something else. Record ID, you have to click search. Display field, and then you kind of like, since we're doing, then we're going to do citations for this one. We're going to click on citations and click OK. We're going to go to citations right here. Complexity is kind of weird. Like I said, like if you just click the one, here, it's just going to give you the one citation. So I always click this right here, which is this top bit right here, and not this bottom one. This will give you all 5 citations, albeit they'll be all kind of like stuck together. So just keep that in mind. We're going to go ahead and click OK. We're going to do Airtables, get a record, base, stock informant, table 1, record ID, hit search, display field, and for this one I'm going to hit last updated. I'm just going to leave that blank. We're going to hit OK. Should get that first. So we're going to go over here, add a module where you're going to do complexity, create a chat completion, and then we're going to go to let's see, and this is right here. We're shooting 1,500 and then 1.2. Right here in content, we're going to go ahead and hit last updated, and down here we're going to go to this bit, choice, message, content. Alright, I'm going to go over here. I'm going to go ahead and say big. Okay, we're trying to leave it like that. Hit user, hit OK. We're going to go over here, Airtables again, updated record, remove this right, base, stock informant, table 1, record ID, we're going to hit search, display field, summary, OK, choices, message, content, then we're going to go ahead and hit OK. Let me show you one. Google Docs, create a document. Content that's going to be displayed will be here, message, content. Alright. And we're just going to do it like that. Oh, no. Click your folder to choose. Right here, we already have a folder, but if you want to create a separate folder, you always can. So there's that. And we're going to go back to Airtables. I forgot to, let's see, we're going to put make sure to add last updated date. Make sure that the last updated date and time. Alright, I'll make this and we're gonna run this. Alright, so looks like everything pretty much worked the way we wanted it to. Right here we have our we got this market recap from today's date, which is very important. Looks like we actually got information from a lot of websites here. Just the cool thing about it is that you don't really you don't gotta read through all of this. You don't gotta find all of these websites because this will do it for you. And I think it does a pretty good job. So, because you could always kind of just adjust here. What we did, this was kind of quick. So if you want to do something a little different, you always can. You have your last updated time, then your report right here. That's updated November 18th, 2024. And then we got the time, military time. Let me just make sure. It says right now it's 5:38, 5:34. I mean. I guess just the time. But anyways, it's close enough. As of Monday, November 18th, let's take a look at our LinkedIn post while the rest of this loads. So here's what we got. And it gives you a couple of emojis right here, which is pretty good if you want to make this engaging. So I'm all for it. Let's check this real quick. All right. So if you build this and there's some things that you just want to adjust, you can do that pretty easily right here with Perplexity. You just kind of type in the content here and it'll do it all for you. Hard part is actually just getting all of this together. So, I mean, yeah, as long as it's working, I mean, the Airtables is working pretty well, then I'm not really complaining. So, let's take a look at this LinkedIn. Alright, so you're gonna have to like add your LinkedIn page either through here. So we're gonna click on LinkedIn or LinkedIn connection. It's gonna give you all that. You'll type in your password and there you go. Content. For your content, you're gonna want to go ahead and click on. I think we already did this, but basically, your message, your content right there. A little bit of an introduction. Intro. And just type in whatever you think is good. And see what else it is. Media type. You can just leave this blank unless you want it to be an article. In which case you have all the stuff that you have to fill in. But I'm not doing an article, so I'm gonna just leave it at that. Public, you can always change this to whichever suits you best. In fact, for me, I actually did only my connections for my first trial. But I mean, that's up to you. So that's pretty much it for this automation. So thank you guys for watching. It's my first video, so